And now, aviation weather around Alaska.
Flying weather for the morning of the 4th. Looks pretty good in the interior here with a lot of VFR all the way up to the Arctic coast and off the southwest coast here. The IFR out over the Bering Sea down to the Aleutians and then up along the south side of the Alaska Peninsula here right into Kodiak Island and backing around to just south of Kamishek Bay. Otherwise, areas of marginal VFR up along the North Gulf Coast, Prince William Sound, and some IFR over the southeast coast. For the afternoon, conditions improve here, becoming VFR over the inside waters in most areas with just limited IFR now out along the coast. Still IFR for Kodiak Island, south side of the Alaska Peninsula, nothing but VFR in the interior, and some big area of IFR continues out over the Bering Sea here, all the way down into most areas of the Aleutians. And then for Saturday morning, we've got, again, solid IFR here for most of the Bering Sea south of St. Matthew Island. Pribilof's in the thick of it there, all the way down to the central and eastern Aleutians, improving here around Unalaska Island toward False Pass, but still some IFR there for the south side of the Alaska Peninsula and up the east side of Kodiak Island, and also now more IFR into the North Gulf Coast, including Prince William Sound, southern Kenai Peninsula, and then getting hung up here in the Coast Range. So the Copper River Basin staying VFR as well as the interior areas. And some IFR off the southeast coast really pulls back in the afternoon for Saturday with marginal VFR in areas of the inside waters along with some VFR. Otherwise, a little bit more in the lower conditions persisting here for the eastern Kenai Peninsula up into western Prince William Sound, some IFR holding even into the afternoon hours. Cook Inlet, though, and the Susitna Valley staying VFR, as well as the Copper River Basin, all the interior. St. Lawrence Island, northern Bering Sea here, pretty good. Marginal around St. Matthew Island. Then this area of IFR holds out over the Bering Sea, breaking up a little bit down toward the Aleutians. Marginal for the eastern Aleutians, Alaska Peninsula. Passes Anatuvik and Adigan. Both another VFR day coming up for Friday and probably Saturday as well. Lake Clark and Merrill, VFR. Rainy, VFR. Windy, same forecast. VFR, Eastern Alaska Range, both Isabel and Mentasta. VFR forecast. And for Tanita, looking good, VFR. Portage starting out marginal, possibly some marginal VFR, some lower clouds in the morning, becoming VFR quite rapidly. And for Chilkoot and White, marginal VFR. And for the freezing levels here, 12,000 feet from the Brooks Range out to the Arctic Ocean, 10,000 feet through the central interior, then a little cooler here out over the southwest interior with the chilliest air out over the central Aleutians at about 6,000 feet for the freezing levels there. Icing could be some areas of isolated moderate rime icing, just a thread here for the Alaska Peninsula into the southeast Bering Sea, maybe in toward Bristol Bay. Otherwise, not too bad icing-wise here across the entire forecast area. Could be an elevated thread here for the Copper River Basin, as well as Prince of Wales Island. So moving on to the jet stream map here. Upper level high pressure going along with that 12,000 foot freezing level area up there. So wind flow coming around that here up to 65 knots out of the east right across the Kenai Peninsula, turning southeast up to 70 knots for the Seward Peninsula into the southern Chukchi Sea. Southeast 70 also here on the north side of this low complex, just to the south of the eastern Aleutians. And not too bad, pretty light over the Panhandle. And taking a look at the 9,000 foot wind flow chart here, you can see southeast winds here at about 40 knots across the southwest interior areas, lighter out to the southern Bering Sea, even out to the west there with the stronger westerlies south of the Aleutian chain. Very light winds over the interior all the way down the southeast coast, including the Gulf of Alaska. 3,000 feet have this band of southeasterlies at about 35 to 40 knots here from St. Matthew Island right on down along the southwest coast into Bristol Bay. Only 25 knots though for Kodiak Island. Light and variable over the mainland areas, Gulf of Alaska and the Panhandle. From there, taking a look at turbulence with that area stronger winds. Look for isolated moderate turbulence, especially for small aircraft here, Alaska Peninsula, Kodiak Island. On up along the southwest coast, Nunivak Island may be as far north as St. Lawrence Island.